Hi, everyone. Welcome to Parent, another amazing Monday where we're going to talk about simply nutritious families. I am Tania Farran, your host for this event tonight. I am also the author of Raising the Well-Adjusted Child, a Parent's Manual. So you'll want to check out my book, Raising the Well-Adjusted Child, a Parent's Manual. It is available on Amazon. You can get it in paperback as well as the Kindle version. So check that out. I also want to draw your attention to the Parent to Parent YouTube channel. And you can see here as I look at this live event, I stream all of these live here. So the one that's going live right here is the one with Lisa Fevick right now. I'm excited to have this. As well as I've got some other live events that have been listed on here. So if you subscribe to the channel, you'll never miss a single episode. You can go back and rewatch. It's your great place to go. Would love to have you subscribe to us. All right. Well, we only have 30 minutes together, and I want to introduce my guest. Lisa Fevick is a registered dietitian, and honestly, she mostly focuses on menopausal women. However, she has agreed to come on here tonight so that we can talk about nutrition for families. And so without further ado, welcome Lisa Fevick. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, I am so happy to be here. I've been looking forward to this for the past 2 weeks.
I know, me too. It's so good. It's so good to see you again and to have you be a part of our program tonight. And, it's so funny. Lisa and I were just talking backstage, and she said, do you think we're going to get through all of this tonight? And I said, no, probably not.
Yeah.
Probably not. Oh, I love it. Lisa, tell everybody a little bit about you.
So I've been a dietitian for quite some time. I wouldn't mention how many years. Yes, my focus is on menopause, but as we were discussing backstage, because I'm a registered dietitian, I've trained for everything throughout the life cycle. So from the time the woman gets pregnant, has the baby, feeding children, feeding herself, all the way to maturity, adulthood and retirement, whatever stage of life you're in, I'm trained in the nutritional aspects of that.
Absolutely.
So I'm really happy to be here talking about how to feed kids, because it goes back to what I talk about. Menopausal women, we still have children to feed. We may have aging parents at the home. So how do we navigate all of these things? So this falls in my wheelhouse.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And thank you so much, Jackie Hallberg, for joining us, Kenneth Dunner and Nicole Anjai Galindo. Thank you for being with us tonight. I know your best buddies. I love it. Thanks for the support and being here tonight. So let's get into this. So you want to stay to the end, 30 minutes long. We're going to talk about lunch boxes at the very end. So that is something that we know we're for sure going to get to, but we're going to talk a little bit, I posed the question of that what's for dinner thing. And, I think there's a lot of myths out there for families, a lot of noise on social media. Mm-hmm. Do you see any common myths, nutrition myths that maybe parents are falling for today?
Yeah, so what I don't like about social media is the fact that people are putting everything into these boxes. It's either healthy or unhealthy, good, bad, black, white, and food isn't like that. Your bodies aren't like that, right? Everything depends on what you eat, how much you eat, when you eat it, and how often you eat it. So, for example, we were talking about kids having chips and soda for lunch. Mm-hmm. So if I have that one day, that's fine. If I have it every day consistently, okay, that becomes a problem. So I think the first thing parents need to do is just to get out of this pressure that we add on ourselves. We have so many things going on. Let's not add food as a stressor, because we are all different. We have different cultural backgrounds. Some of us are also on the spectrum. So food stays different. For young children, food stays different. They have more taste buds. They literally have more taste buds than us. So vegetables can taste very stringent, very acidic, very sharp. So let's not get caught up, okay, they haven't finished our plate or they're not eating this. Let's focus on, okay, what do they like? what do they want to have. And then depending on the age, we slowly introduce foods. Sometimes it's better to have them in the kitchen or take them shopping with you, involve them in the process. So the first myth I want people to get away from is don't think of food, don't put these things in boxes. Chicken nuggets are unhealthy. How many times through the week are you having chicken nuggets? How many chicken nuggets are on the plate? If having 4 or 5 chicken nuggets will help that child eat some vegetables, then I say go for it.
Mm-hmm.
Because what is the most important thing? Getting the child fed, getting the child as much nutrients as possible, as often as possible. So let's not put that extra stress on ourselves, but definitely talk to a pediatrician, pediatric dietitians if you are struggling and you need that extra help.
I love that. Let's not put it in boxes. I love that. That is so true because, right, this is healthy, this is unhealthy. Let's look at, kind of overall picture of what are we feeding
Yeah.
our kids? How often are they eating it? Are they nutritious foods? Are they empty calories for them? Sometimes it's fun to have empty calories. It's your birthday. You're having a
Yeah.
birthday cake, right? But every day of having cake may not be as good. I love
Yeah.
that. And not
And you
putting
mentioned,
pressure. I love that. Yeah.
sorry, you mentioned the empty calories part, and usually people look at the snacks and the unhealthy snacks, the chips or the sweet snacks or whatever it is. Most of those foods are fortified because we know children will eat them.
Okay.
Children have very small stomachs, so they can't eat a lot at once. So, yes, of course, we want them to eat the whole grains, the fruits, the veggies. Those are very important. But sometimes, and this is where negotiations may happen, this is where we talked about the sneaking vegetables, sneaking in stuff. Some of these foods are very fortified with vitamins and minerals. So it's okay if they have a pack of chips every day.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, we're looking at the overall picture. What are they doing for the entire day, the entire week, the entire month? So if they're eating veggies with every meal and their go-to snack is a pack of crisps or chips, then that's okay because what are they doing for the rest of the day? They're eating more health, nutritious foods.
Sure.
So let's not again get so caught up in, gosh, I'm being a bad parent because they're eating XYZ. Let's not focus on that. What are they eating on the helpful side? Can you get them to eat more of it? Can you take them to the supermarket? And I'm sorry, I'm jumping all over the place, but the ideas
No,
are
you're
coming to
good.
me.
You're good.
So depending on the age, you can give them 5 colors, the greens, the reds, the blues, and let them pick out one fruit, one vegetable. Let them go online, go on YouTube. Okay, how can I use blueberries in oats or something, or a smoothie? Let them do the research. So again, it goes to the age, the educational background of the children, what you expose them to. Maybe take them into the kitchen. They may not be able to chop vegetables, but they can certainly decorate pizza. So you can chop veggies for them and let them decorate foods. Do you have to knead dough and make the pizza crust? No. You can take pita bread, you can take normal bread and let them paste on the tomato sauce and fill it with the veggies. Negotiate with them. Okay, if you want pepperoni, you have to add one vegetable to it. So there's so many things you can do, but I think the important thing is not stressing them out, not letting them see you stressed because it sets up that negativity towards food. And
Mm-hmm.
as soon as you can involve them in the process, let them have their own money, let them buy their own food, let them take it home, let them wash it, chop it up, prepare it, freeze it, whatever it is. Let them be involved in the process. And that's how you get them accustomed to eating more nutritious foods.
I love that. I love that. And I really liked that you talked about the taste buds because I don't think we really know that. Like
Yeah, yeah,
as parents, I'm an educator, I don't think that we really know that. And the size of their stomach is something, right? We fill their plate
yeah,
with food and it's too much for them, right?
yeah. It's
So it's
overwhelming.
overwhelming
So
for them.
their
It's
brain
too
shuts
much.
off.
And you know
Yeah.
what? I didn't like blueberries until I was like 40. Seriously.
Yeah, yeah.
The flavor to me was terrible. And
Hmm.
now I eat them all the time. I do like them, but I was 40 literally before
Yeah,
I liked blueberries and probably 30 before I really liked broccoli. And so,
yeah.
that makes that's a really valid point um, as to that. So, and you talked a little bit about having them get into helping with the preparation and
Hmm.
the grocery shopping and being a part of it and learning about the vegetables, things like that, or nutritious foods, fruits, vegetables, proteins, grains,
Yeah,
having them be a part of that. And I think that's really great for that introduction of difference of foods.
yeah.
And I think that helps, that kind of goes through that question or segues to the question of people that try to hide vegetables in stuff. Like I've seen people like boil carrots, blend them and put them in their spaghetti sauce to get the kids to eat it or into the chili or something like that, blend it up
Yeah.
and throw it in there. What is your take on that? Hiding those vegetables? Is that a good thing, a bad thing? What do you think?
I think it's how we frame things. So when you say hiding, it sounds like something negative, as
Mhm.
if I'm lying to my kids or I'm trying to fool them.
Right.
What is the end goal? The end goal is for my kids to eat as nutritious a plate as possible. But I
Mhm.
also must understand what my kids like, don't like, what they will accept. So if I know, okay, let's say carrots are not their best thing. So there's two ways you could do it. And it goes back to when I said it's your colors. So the different color groups have similar vitamins and nutrients, vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, all the nutrients. So everything in, let's say, the green group will be very similar. So you talked about not liking broccoli. Well,
Mhm.
if I don't like broccoli, I can eat lettuce, I can
Mhm.
eat kale, and there are different types of kale. I can eat Brussels sprouts, I can eat cabbage. There's so many things that fall in that group. So, one, I don't have to force people to eat foods because every time you force someone to eat something, it sets up a negativity towards it. Nobody likes to be told what to do, right?
Right.
Even as adults, we don't like to be told we have to do this,
Mhm.
right? So, one, let them choose something that looks interesting to them that they want to try. Even if they buy it and they don't like it, okay, no problem. Maybe freeze it and we'll use it in a smoothie. And you take them back the next week. Okay, let's try something else. It's
Mhm.
always positive. Let's try something else. And
Right.
that's why I said keep it in the color group because, okay, if I don't like strawberries, they're raspberries, they're cherries, they're different things, they're tomatoes, they're different things in the color group that will give them the same nutrients. When it comes to getting them to eat the foods now, and again, it depends on the age, what they're dealing with, health conditions, etc., etc. If increasing the nutrient density of the foods I'm putting on the plate without them knowing is going to make them eat it, then by all means, it's not hiding it. Think of it as okay, I'm making sure my kids are eating the most nutritious meal that I can provide. So if the most nutritious meal, sorry, that I can provide is blending carrots into my spaghetti sauce, then great. And I think it's such a wonderful way to maybe get not tell them yet that they, hey, I fooled you when I made you eat carrots. They're not gonna want to eat it next time. They're not gonna trust you.
Correct.
Maybe when they get older, they join you in the kitchen and show them, okay, I was actually for all these years, this is how I make my pasta
This is
sauce.
my secret recipe.
It's my secret recipe. Yes. So again, I'm not saying, hey, I fooled you as a child. I'm saying this is my recipe. I want you to learn to make it. And guess what? To my pasta sauce, I add carrots. It tastes wonderful all through you growing up, right? So let's learn to make it together now.
I love
So
that.
I don't think, again, it's how we reframe our thoughts or words. It's never from a negative place. Because at the end of the day, I want to make sure my kids get the most nutritious meal I can provide. And wherever I can do that, however I can do that, I love that thing, my secret recipe. So I have a lot of secret recipes. That we're gonna
That's
try.
awesome. I want to acknowledge some of these people that are dropping some things in. Jackie, you're never a failure. Never say that as a
Mm-mm.
mom.
No.
And we just learn these things as we go along. We're
Yeah.
busy parents. So a very, very good comment. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Um, it is good guidance. I appreciate that. Thank you
Mhm.
so much. Thank you, Linda, for being here. I love your tip that you had your kids do, asking them to eat two small pieces of whatever vegetable were at the table and eating them with whatever else was on their plate. Just
I
to try.
love
And
that.
it worked,
Yeah.
And I think once they're used to that, I think that's like typical. Mom's going to make this vegetable. She's going to ask me to try 2 bites of it. Should they know that that's kind of the expectation?
Yeah. Yeah.
And Nick, I'm right there with you. I love cooked celery, but not raw celery. Mm-mm.
And that's fine. Then why are you burdening yourself eating the celery? You don't like
Right?
it? Move on.
Well, and I
There's
remember
so
as a
many
kid,
different things to eat.
my mom would make those ants on a log, the peanut butter and little raisins on the celery. I
Yeah.
never liked it. I just
I
liked the peanut
I'm
butter
from the
out.
Caribbean. I don't get that at all.
Maybe
I've
it's an
seen it.
American thing,
Yeah,
Lisa.
it is
I
an
don't know.
American thing. I've seen it and I'm like, what is wrong with you people? I don't get that flavor combination. But
I
if
love that.
that's what your kids love and that's the only veggie they will eat right now,
Right.
then that's okay. We're gonna
Exactly.
start there and build on it.
Exactly. I love that. Thank you for sharing that throwback, Nick. Appreciate that. Thank you, Coach Carrie, for checking in from Indiana. I look forward to seeing you later tonight. And Christy, thank you for joining us again tonight. Let's
Yeah.
see. Coach Carrie's son would be a nutrition expert. He's like, Mom, eat your veggies. I love that. That's cute. That's very cute.
Yeah.
Super cute. No, there is so many little things, to go through. So let's just say a family doesn't have time to do that whole big meal prep on the weekends. What are some quick little micro habits that they could actually maybe incorporate, to kind of get some things set up for themselves for the week with their family to have some more nutritious meals?
Yeah.
Maybe they can only
So
do 2 meals at home during the week. We get
yeah.
so busy as parents.
And that's totally fine. It's a busy world that we live in. So one, don't put pressure on yourself. Don't come from a negative place. What is the best that I can do this week? So take some planning. So okay, I don't have any time on the weekend. What do I really want to make? And what do I really want to put in their lunch kits? What do I want to carry to work? Okay, I want to take some chicken, some stir-fried veggies, and maybe corn or star potatoes or something like that for the start. Okay, I don't have time to bake a chicken. Does my local grocery have rotisserie chickens made? Can I buy prepackaged veggies that are chopped up already?
Mm.
What about my local farmers markets? A lot of times they bake breads, they make a lot of prepackaged meals. Is there a delivery service in my neighborhood? Let's say there's someone, a parent in the school who has a small business. Maybe support them.
Mm.
I think we are just so negative. Okay, I'm not doing this. I'm not a good enough parent, that we don't open ourselves to the possibilities. What's out there? What's available to me? What's on sale? A lot of times, and I love America for this, they always have a sale. Once
Yes.
the food starts to go bad or close to expiry date, the price drops drastically. Take
Mhm.
advantage of those. Can you chop things up and put it in the fridge, the freezer? Maybe your weekend is tough, but you have time during the week. Maybe you have an hour every day during the week or half an hour. It doesn't take much. Okay, today for this half an hour, I am going to take some veggies and put it together to make a salad. So I'm going to buy things that I've pre-chopped and I'm going to throw it in a bowl. I'm going to parcel it out into Ziploc bags or containers so that I have stuff to go to work and my kids have stuff to go to school. Okay, the next day I have another half an hour. What can I do? Okay, so I bought the chicken from the supermarket, the rotisserie chicken. Can I shred it up and make sandwiches? So I can chop up the rotisserie chicken, keep the legs maybe for dinner, and
Mhm.
take the breast and shred it.
Mhm.
Maybe add a little low fat mayo,
Mhm.
some mustard, whatever our kids like. And okay, I'm going to use that for sandwiches. So I'm going to buy, so, but it takes planning. So I'm making sure, okay, I have bread, I have some sort of condiments to go in the salad, the chicken to shred to make the chicken salad. So I'm making things. Okay, I have the rest of the chicken bones now. Can I take that and make a soup? So on
Mm-hmm.
the Friday evening, I have another half an hour. I take those pieces remaining and I boil it and I make chicken stock.
Mm-hmm.
Because on the Saturday, I'm going to take that stock and just, okay, I have a can of beans, I have leftover veggies, bam, boil it, soup. It's as simple as that. It
Yeah.
doesn't have to be this grand meal that we see, our parents did in the 60s and 70s.
Sure.
And the table is laid out and there are five, six different things. That's way too much. If
Right.
all I can do is open a can of pre-made soup and add extra veggies to it, that's good enough.
Mm-hmm. I had a girlfriend. You're just making me think of a lot of things, and I love this because there's so many resources at our fingertips. I mean, back in the old days, we had to go through a cookbook, right, and flip through things. Then
Yeah.
the internet came available. We could look things up. But now I follow these amazing moms on TikTok, and I follow them
Yes.
on YouTube and different channels. And I'm like, wow, look what they're doing. And there was one mom. She went and bought two rotisserie chickens in the Midwest. They're about $7
Right.
chicken, which is pretty affordable in my
That's really
opinion.
good. Yeah.
So two of them, and she just shredded them and used them for different parts for the different meals. And that was really, really helpful.
Mhm.
I think, to watch and see some of these parents. And the other cool thing is if you do order your groceries and things like that online, those online services, you usually save your last, your order. So you can just kind of repeat that order.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and I love there's so many pre-cut already veggies and wash things. But the other thing that I'm thinking about too, and as your kids start to get to that, 7, 8, 9, 10-year-old ages, they can start helping you in the kitchen with
Definitely.
bagging some things like you were
Mm-hmm.
saying. Making the salad, they're chopping the carrot, they're cutting the lettuce or
Yeah.
tearing the lettuce, rinsing the lettuce for you. I mean, there's so many things that you can do together to make some healthy
Mm-hmm.
options for yourself in there. Those little mini fruit cups always were like a staple in my house with my kids. And I
Mm-hmm.
had one who was not a picky eater, and I had one who was an incredibly picky eater. And I just didn't make it a big deal.
Yeah.
But I always said, this is what we're having for dinner. You can eat it or you don't have to. And it wasn't an argument. Sometimes my picky eater ate everything, and sometimes she only ate one part of it. But she was, it was not a big deal, And I always
Yeah.
said, if you want to get up and make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, you're welcome to do that. But this
Yeah.
is what is available for dinner tonight. And it turned out really good. It wasn't a problem. So how does one help with like that picky eater? I mean, that's how I kind of got around that
Yeah.
picky eater. How do you recommend? I mean, you probably have adults that you've worked with that say, "Oh, I don't eat that. I won't eat that. I won't try that."
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
So, a picky eater as a child and a picky eater as an adult, what are some of the advice that you give
Mm.
these picky eaters?
Yeah. So never come from a place of you have to do anything. Because again, no one likes to be told what to do. Our brain automatically says, oh, I'm not doing that. You can't tell me what to do, right? Automatically does that.
Yeah.
Come from a place of understanding. Okay. Again, involve them in the process. Okay. So what do we feel like eating today? Now they will obviously always say pizza or chicken nuggets or something like that. Okay. So if we're doing chicken nuggets, what's going to go with it? We're going to need one vegetable to go with it.
Mm-hmm.
What's your favorite veggie? You mentioned 7, 8, and 9. Most young children like cute things. So we were talking about baby carrots before
Yeah,
we came on.
we were.
Yeah, so you can also buy these nice like flower shaped cutters or
Oh,
whatever shape
yeah.
they love. So maybe again take them to the store. Their favorite thing is a rocket ship or flowers or whatever. Let them go pick out the cutters and you're telling them, listen, we're gonna make some fancy veggies tonight and we're gonna buy a nice plate. So buy a colored plate or whatever their favorite cartoon characters. Buy those plates, buy the cup so that they know, okay, this is mine. I'm going to eat out of this and put them in the kitchen. Give them the cutter, and you chop the the cucumber into rounds and you let them press out the shape. And don't throw away the excess. Use that for a stew or freeze it to go in your smoothie so that you're not wasting food. But you let them again be involved in the process. Let them cut it into the shapes that they want. They like pizza, okay. Say, okay, Monday night is pizza night. We're going to use whole grain bread, or even if it's white bread, they don't like whole grain bread. Okay, white bread. Pizza sauce, maybe we can make that pizza sauce our special recipe that we talked about with the pumpkin or the carrots added. Let them pour it on, let them spread it out. Make sure they have shredded cheese. You let them put on the cheese. And then again, let them take the cutters and make the different shapes and put it on. And say, okay, maybe they love pepperoni or some sort of other meat, maybe same shredded chicken that we did with the rotisserie. And you let them decorate it and help them to put it into the oven so they can hold part of the dish.
I
Let
love
them be part of the process. When children are part of the process, they enjoy what they make. And then they're putting it onto their special plate, their special cup. Buy a fancy fork for them, whatever it is it takes, and think of it as an investment.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not okay. I have to spend extra money that I don't have. Because again, what is the bottom line? I want my kids to eat as nutritious a meal as I could possibly provide.
Right.
Right? So you just find ways to work around whatever the picky thing is. And I loved Linda's suggestion. Try 2 bites.
Right.
Maybe they don't like it raw. Maybe they like it roasted. Maybe they like it fried. Nothing is wrong with fried veggies, doing a batter and putting it on and letting them dip in some ketchup.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, the veggies are still there. You still get any fiber, still get any vitamins and minerals, but it's in a fried form. Okay, that's how they're going to eat it right now. And most kids, the picky eaters, they grow out of it or their patterns change, so you just have to keep working with them.
I love that. And that is so true. I think we get hung up on some of those things like a tempura vegetable or that's dipped in a batter or something
Yeah,
like that. But if they're eating it, they are still getting those
they're still
nutritional
getting it. Yep.
benefits of them, aren't they? So yeah, that is really good. That's good to hear. So, lastly, we want to talk about school lunches. We
I
want to
didn't realize it. The time flew by so fast.
I know it goes by so fast, but don't worry, y'all. I told Lisa we'll have to have her back in another quarter, so because this is such important topics, like
Yeah.
I mean, Lisa, we could talk about hydration and nutrition, and I mean, there's
Yeah,
so many
everything.
for kids that it's important that we do this as parents and know about it. And so
Mm,
I'm glad we're going to help some parents understand some other
yeah.
things. So let's talk for a couple minutes about school lunches and finding ways that we can add more nutritious foods for our kids.
Yeah, so the same principles apply. So now I have to buy cute containers for them, maybe a cute lunch bag. What are their favorite colors? So you buy it in those colors. Let them go and pick it out. And yes, next year they may be interested in another cartoon character and you may have to buy another set of stuff. Again, it's an investment into your children's health. Take
Mhm.
the old set and donate it, okay? Um, Prepackaged stuff, let them put it in the Ziploc bags, let them put it in the containers. The same air fried or tempura batter things can work in lunches. The
Mhm.
same cute cut up stuff. A lot of parents are using bento boxes now, so you have
Yes,
the little
yes.
containers. That's the end thing.
Mhm.
Again, so you're putting something nutritious, but also put what their favorite snack is.
Mhm.
Nothing is wrong with snacks. It's how much you eat and how often you eat it. So one snack for lunch and maybe one snack before dinner, that's fine because at the end of the day, they're eating the nutritious things I want. So again, don't get hung up on the negativity of my kids only eat this, so I must do this. Let's work with kids. I saw the apples and peanut butter, whatever they enjoy.
Yeah.
I would suggest trying it at home first,
Mhm.
making sure that they like it,
That's
and
a good.
then saying, yeah, because you don't want to give them something new at school,
Mhm.
especially when there's peer pressure and bullying, and you don't want to add stress to them, right? So, whatever new, try it at home, make sure they like it, and then let them pack it themselves.
I like that. I like that idea. That's a great one. And I've not heard that tip before, but that makes perfect sense. Have them try it at home. So
Yeah.
you're not, so then they're not hungry in school because you
Yeah.
packed some stuff and they didn't end up liking it.
Yeah.
You know, I wanted to always bring good stuff to lunch myself. I mean, being a teacher for many years, I packed my lunch every day, you know, that's just how it was always.
Yeah.
So I love that. I think that is really great. You know, the other thing too, like, I think as a mom, you know, we often feel like we have to do everything. You
Mm-hmm.
know, when our kids get to that age of 7, 8, 9, and my therapist told me this once, they're like, they can pack a lunch. And I'm like,
Oh,
oh
yeah.
gosh,
Yeah.
you know, they can start helping and you can tell them, you know, when you put those snacks in and you put them in your pantry, you know, here's the snacks that you can like put in or the dry goods you can put in your bag, you
Yeah.
know, and here's the stuff, here's the fruit cups in here and stuff like that. They can grab that stuff and drop it in there and
Yeah. Or put it on a low shelf in the fridge
right.
so that they could get it in the morning. Let them pack their bags. Again, the more involved they are in the process of packing, making their own lunches, they
Yeah.
will quicker, eat it and not throw it away or something like that.
Love that. Oh, Lisa, thank you so much. Thank you, everybody in the audience, for participating and joining in and sharing your tips and advice. And I'm glad that we've got this figured out here as well. That you know, Carrie's going to eat the apples, or Nick's going to eat the apples, and Carrie maybe will eat the log.
Yeah,
Love
no,
that.
I'm not
I
doing
love
the ants on the log.
I love that. Thank you so much. Lisa, do you have a last minute tip or something that you'd like to tell parents about nutrition before we leave?
Just give yourself some love and grace. This world is hard enough as it is. Don't make food a stressor. Do the best you can, but if you need support, I'm sure there are dietitians in your hometown, your health centers, hospitals, or if not, you can reach out to me on LinkedIn. And if you have questions, and I'll be happy to help.
Yes, check out Lisa on LinkedIn. She does lots of great advice, tips, and she has a live stream every week as well. Every week, right, Lisa?
Every other Tuesday.
Every other Tuesday.
Yeah.
So check her out there. So thank you so much for joining me. Hang back for 1 second if you have a minute afterwards. And
Sure.
bye, everyone. We'll see you next week.
Take care, everybody.